Hi everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. Okay, I started binding, well I did bind the Olivia Journal, and it's so fat, and again, I don't have everything in here yet, and you can just see how fat that is, and I still have to put stuff in, so we're looking at, like probably something more like this. I'm I did bind it. You can see all the strings, but I cut it out of the binding because I really was having a hard time. It wouldn't open like any further than like this, and you'd have to turn it, this way or the other. So what I decided to do was cut it out, which I did, and you could see all the strings. I've got it all cut out here. And I'm going to try to do what they call a floating spine. Now, I've never done one before. I'm going to try to get these things back over here. I'm trying to keep the strings in them until I'm ready to put them back into the new binding. So this was my template, and what I also found is that I had put these holes here originally and they came a little too low for some of the pages. So I'll be rebinding, and so I've moved the holes in again, like another, I don't know, this is now 1.25 inches instead of like 3/8 of an inch or something like that. So hopefully that'll be okay, and I don't think there should be an issue with seeing any of the holes, and you'll only see them in the center, the center spreads, and there's probably a way that I can kind of minimize being able to see them. So this is going to be new for me. So what I'm going to do is, I believe, reaching over here, I brought some Tyvek out. I'm going to take some Tyvek, and I'm going to put the Tyvek on, and this is just an envelope. I had gotten them, I don't know, they were like probably like 10 or something in a pack at the dollar store a while ago. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Tyvek on here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tape, I think, on here. So let me go ahead. This is going to be a fun, I'm going to try not to shake the camera, but I am opening my drawer with my tape in it. So the way this piece is going to work, this will hang out over the top and bottom of the spine of the book, and this is a piece I cut it just a little bit smaller because I wanted to be able to see. I have so much stuff on my desk. I'm so sorry because I've been working like crazy. I wanted to be able to see the edge of the plainer, just beige fabric. It's not muslin, but or what everybody in the UK would call calico. To me, that's not calico, but that's what they call it, I think. Anyway, so I wanted to be able to see that. So this piece is just a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm putting, well, obviously I'm putting two, I got to move this in just a little bit further because I won't have the, that big clunk that you heard was my, if you heard it, was my dog laying down again. I'm hoping that this will, I have card that just, and not too thick, just a little bit of card that I'm going to put in there to give it a little bit more structure, because a little bit of glue over there, but that's okay. I didn't want the fabric to shift. I didn't want the signatures to, like, wiggle in the book. It's already kind of unwieldy. So, yeah, I'm trying to think about this. I've watched a couple of videos. I do believe that a while back I had watched a video and somebody mentioned that this is a way to help your book lay flatter, so that it doesn't, do that V thing when you've got so much in it like I have in this one. So When I bound it and I was not happy. I'm not gonna put this one on top of the other, but I'm gonna put them really pretty close together because, again, I think it will help it to keep it from shifting. So I'm just hoping that that will be the case, that I don't do the binding again and find that I still have the same problem. I've got all this stuff all over the desk. It's crazy. I've got ribbon and I've got all the pieces that I had worked on, and there's fabric and there's thread and there's just laces because I'm trying to finish up all the pockets for all these special pieces and the other pockets that I'm going to put in. And I'm really hoping it is Tuesday here, May 3rd, right now. Probably will put this video up just because I don't think I will put it on Facebook at all, but I will put it up. So because somebody, if it does work, somebody will more than likely ask me, how did I do it? So, and the one good thing about doing videos like this, guys, is it's a reference for me. When I look at something and go, I can't remember how I did that, I can actually go back and look at the video and teach myself what I did. So I'm going to make sure that this is really, really, really down against the fabric here. My thumb's giving me a little bit of issue. My washing machine is going in the background. You know, I've seen other people's videos where they play music in the background. Well, this is my music. It's my laundry going all the time in the background of my videos. Because, you know, I'm down here. Might as well get the laundry done while I'm here. So, all right. Go on this side. Really smush it down. I don't know how long this is going to take me. I really don't want this video to be too long. So right now it's just really the structure of putting the piece together. You know, what will be the floating part of the spine. And then I will probably cut that, you know, stop the video there, cut that off, and then get my signatures ready to go in. And hopefully, okay, I'm having issues here. Hopefully then, you know, I'll be able to at least put one. Actually, I'll probably sew them in off camera because it is, I mean, pretty much anybody who has made a journal knows how to sew them in. And I tend to be a little awkward because of my eyesight and my hands being what they are, so it takes me a little longer. I'm just trying to not get the fabric and leave the glue behind. So this is taking me a minute. Here we go. I should probably actually, let me start from this side. That way I won't keep putting my arm in the glue. Otherwise, if I undo it, I'll keep leaning like this if I go from the right to the left and get the glue all over my arm, which is not where I want it. So just trying to find a good spot where I can get under the paper and not under the glue. Try from down this end. Just wants to stay on the paper this time. All right, I got it here. Yay! Okay, so that's that one. The other trick is not to just trying to press down the corner a little bit more, not to fold the fabric over while you're trying to do this. Oh my goodness. Get off. Okay. I might be getting little bumps in the tape, but I think I will be all right because, like I said, I'm going to put the Tyvek over this. Oh my goodness, this is taking forever. This should go real quick. I'm going to put the Tyvek over this, And then I'm going to, holy macaroni here, try to roll it off. There we go. And then I'm going to put the card on top of the Tyvek, and then on top of the card the patterned fabric that will be seen inside the journal cover. I'm just trying to kind of pick it up and then roll it off the paper if I can. Seems to be working a little better. It gives me a little bit of a blob of tape at the top, but it seems to work a little better. That one worked nicely. Okay. Oops, I'm getting stuck. Yeah, so if this works and I'm happy with it, then I get the video too. So when I want to do it again, I won't have to try to figure it all out again and end up doing something differently that may or may not work out right. So let's hope this works out right, guys, because I won't know if it does achieve what I want it to achieve, which is helping to get the signatures to open flatter, until I sew the signatures in. So that's a little bit of an issue, and I really don't want to sew them in and then cut them out again. If it achieves what I want it to achieve, then yeehaw. But if it doesn't, and I have the same situation I had before, that it's just, you know, not going to lay flat no matter what I do, or flatter no matter what I do, then it is what it was before, and, you know, no harm, no foul. So, come on. Somebody stick to the fabric. There you are. Okay. And one more across the top here. I'll turn that this way and try to pick this off. This is the one that had a little bit of glue coming out the end of the paper. So I am hoping, even though this is a little bit of a setback for me, because putting in the signatures, like I said, with this carpal tunnel issue that I have, is pretty painful. Try the other end. And having to do the 5 signatures, and I can't grip the needle with my fingers and you know, pull it through, because it's a lot of thickness. It just doesn't glide through so easily. So I have to use a little pair of pliers so that I can actually excuse me, I can actually, and I'm not worried about getting this too perfect, because I'm just going to kind of cut around it. But if I can get it reasonably on the tape and flat, it doesn't have to cover 100%, you know, the whole thing. It's just there to mostly help on the where the strings go through and the papers will be, to keep it from cracking or splitting in the long run. So that's good. So I'm going to go ahead. See, I'm hanging over the edges a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead, and this does not have to be super neat. And I'm just going to kind of try to get under here and cut this out so that it's under. You know what? Let's try. Let me get my thing here and see if I can just take this and pull it back a little bit under here. And then I'm just going to take my knife and hopefully go along the edge and not be cutting the fabric, which I did not. So that worked. Okay, and let's do the same here since I have a little bit more room here. That's a little bit better. So I can come out a little further, it doesn't matter. Oh, not so close. Trying to stay away from that fold. I don't think I got it. No, I didn't. Okay. All right, and then this little bit here. And I won't even worry about the ruler for that. Okay. I'll put that over here. Okay, so that's that. All right, so we have that down, so that's good. So we have the Tyvek, we have the fabric, okay, and that's going to go this way. Then we're going to put this on top. Do I want to go that way, or do I want to go, yes, I want to go that way. Yeah, okay. I'm going to put this on top, and here, let me, I didn't think about that. I should have put it with the green, because the green would have been at the back, where you wouldn't have seen it. This will show through. Actually, it's not really showing through, is it? I think I do have to cut it back a little further, though, which means I'm going to have to peel it back a little bit, but that's okay. Or I can just do what I should do and cut this the same size, which I can do. I'll just go ahead and cut another one of these. So that's just going to take me a few minutes extra, but I can do that. And I did some inking over this. Let me see. Yeah, most of that's going to be covered. You won't see it. And I think I'm going to be putting some lace here to make a pocket on the inside cover. So this little dark spot, which honestly you don't even notice, probably wouldn't show. And whoops, I'm sorry. I really hit the camera there because I had the drawers open. I'm so sorry. One of these days I'll get a really good setup. So let's see how badly I knock this out of whack. I'll try to put it back in place a little bit. Okay, I think that's not too bad. All right, let me go get that piece of fabric and I will be right back to you. Okay. All right. Here is my fabric. Move that over. Try to get to where I cut that piece out without having to open this up, which is right here. So I think what I'll do is I'm just going to cut it up here. I'm going to tear it the rest of the way up this way to about the fold, thereabouts, and tear it this way, and then I'll just cut off what I don't need. For the sake of expedience here, get my needle back up there. I may need more of that. Let me just put my fabric back away. Okay. And let's see what we have here. We won't worry about pulling all these threads until we have what we want, which is, actually, let me pull some of these. I have that so that I'm sure that I have a good solid piece. For the, for gluing down. I don't want to fray it, or not fray it and cut it and then fray it and find I have to glue over the fray part, if you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and try to grab these guys out. I think my washing machine stopped. I can't believe I've been down here for 45 minutes already. Trying to get all this stuff together. Okay. That's that side. Let's get this side, which the problem with this side is it was the straight edge. But that's okay. We can rumple it up. That we can. We can do a little rumpling. Oops, dropped it in my lap. Okay. Yeah, trying to grab things. My thumb doesn't like to grab. It gets, the left hand's a little bit easier. It doesn't hurt quite as much as the right. So I will try to do my fraying with my left hand, which I'm not a very left-handed person at all. I'm very right-handed. So this one's just being stubborn. Okay, a little bit more here. All right, and I'm just going to run my fingernail along this frayed part, which I'd really like more. Let me see if I can get some more out of here. But if you run your fingernail along it, it's nice when you can tear it because it makes these feathery, really nice edges. But when you try to fray it from a straight cut edge, the frayed part is pretty straight. It's pretty smooth. So when you have to take out just one thread at a time like this and it snags against another thread and then you have to yank on it, that actually helps. It's annoying, but it helps to make the frayed edges here more tatty looking and more, shabby. So, and then like I said, what I do is I just go along the edge. I take my fingernail and I just do this, and you can do it in both directions. And that kind of helps make it look a little more frayed. And now I'll just flip it over and go in the other direction. And you can see it's not as straight and laying as flat. Picked up all the threads on the back as it was before. So it helps. It doesn't look exactly like the other side, but it looks enough like the other, the other sides where you actually tore it. There's another thread in here that I can see. I'm just trying to get the ones that are kind of looking like they want to come out. Okay, let me collect these things and get them away from the desk. Okay, there's a little bit more. All right, now one end here, what I need to do, try to pull some of this glue off of here, is I want to put this down, see where it comes to. I may make it, I really wanted to see but you know what, it is what it is. It's going to be what it is. And then I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to cut this piece and tear it. Hopefully, if my hand will let me. There we go. And I got a nice little piece right there. And we'll pull these threads out. And I do apologize for adding this extra part on, but again, this is part of the process. And I have to say, when I watch people who do their tutorials and they have everything all ready, which is nice, and I try to do that too, mostly for expedience, sake, try to not make the videos too long and tedious with this kind of stuff. But sometimes, especially for people who are just starting out, I think it might be good to see that it's not always that clean-cut process that you're seeing on the videos, that there's a little work involved sometimes, and it gets messy sometimes, and you make mistakes sometimes, and you got to redo things sometimes, or try to fix it. If you can't completely redo it, then, try to remedy it somehow. Without having to begin the whole thing again. It's part of the creative process. That's not to, discourage anybody, but actually I think it's encouraging. Because when you're looking at the videos and everything is perfect, somehow, maybe on some level, you get that a subliminal message that says, this is really easy. And then when you start to do it, it's not so easy, and you're running into all these issues, and now you think you're doing something wrong, and you're really not. They went through all of that. They went through all of the, I'm trying to make sure that I get the threadies kind of vintaged up too. They went through all of that to get to the point where my pad is coming out of here, and I don't think you can glue it in. To get to the point where they could do the video nice and short and sweet, and concise. But the prep work takes a while. The figuring things out sometimes takes a while. You have this idea in your head and you think it's going to work, and you cut some pieces, and then when you go to put it together, you're like, oh, well, you know what? That didn't work. Okay, I can see where the problem is. Let's go back and we'll do it this way. Oh, okay, there you go. That one works. So all that kind of stuff takes place behind the camera, as somebody is preparing and having pieces measured and cut and ready to go to do the tutorial, just to show how it goes together. So sometimes it's not a bad thing to see the sloppy process. Like I said, especially for people who are starting. I know I appreciated that when I first started. So, okay, so this is what we're going to do here. This card is going to go down in here now. I'm going to put that, and again, like I said, never did this before. I'm giving it a shot. I think I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac on here. Oh, why I have to turn it over? It's going to get completely covered. But I'm going to do the Fabri-Tac, I think, on here. I think the tape holds the Tyvek better. And I think the Fabri-Tac will hold this card and to this fabric just fine, more than fine. And of course, it's very flexible. So that will work. That is my printer having a mind of its own. I am not printing anything. It just does that every once in a while. So anyhow, all right, I gotta let that go a little bit. I don't know if you hear sometimes when I turn my wrist or something, you hear a little pop. You probably can't hear that, but things pop and make noise, and it's tough getting old, guys. I think I had said in at least one of my videos previously, I had said to somebody, I don't know how to grow old. I've only ever been young. I look in the mirror and I'm like, who is this person? I don't recognize this person. So, I mean, even when you're going from adolescence to a teenager to a young adult, yes, you're changing and you're getting older, but you're still young, if that makes any sense at all. So, uh-oh, I hear my husband on the phone and I hear him moving, which usually tells me he's coming to talk to me, but maybe not. I'm trying to hear which way he's going on the stairs. I mean, upstairs from above me. I can tell which direction he's walking into. Good old wooden floors. So, okay, so we're going to do this. Okay. So this is the structure. And once I get this piece on top of that, I think what I might do is lay the, wherever I put it. I don't know where I put it. The thing with the holes. Oh my, I have made such a mess up here. Oh, it's right next to me. Goodness gracious. Okay. So we're going to do the Fabri-Tac now on all the rest of this. So we're going to go, I'm going to put some across the top and then lay the floral piece down, and then I'm, ouch, this is my thumb, sorry. And then I'm going to go ahead and just go piece, section by section. Do a little bit of glue, lay it down, do a little bit of glue, lay it down like that. I want to make sure I get glue right along the edges of the card so I can, really press that fabric into there, also helping to keep it from the fabric from bubbling away or shifting. So that is my goal. So I'm going to come down a little further, get right in there, the good amount of glue. I'm going to go right across, get right in there. Doesn't have to be pretty. Put that in there. Okay, so I think we're good with that. Let's put a little bit more there. Look a little thin. And yes, this will show through the fabric, most likely. And I'm going to turn this around, guys, again, so that I can see a little bit better. Doesn't matter which end I'm putting on, because I can flip it either way when I'm done. So I think that should be pretty straight. Looks good to me. And actually, that glue is really not showing through, which is nice. But like I said, this part will be out onto the inside cover, but I'm probably going to put lace along and make it, extend it a little bit and make it a little bit of a pocket. So I want to make sure I get it pressed down good and flat. And see if I can feel this. I want to get in here. Want to make sure that it's good and up against that card. Okay. All right. I'm going to fold this back. I wonder how much time have I been spending here. Oh, that's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. But I do want to go ahead and put the holes in this so that we can have that ready to go. And then, like I said, I'll actually sew the signatures in off camera. And once they're all in, then I will put the camera back on again, and we will put this piece into the spine of the actual book cover. And don't do that, because I want my fray pieces to be fray. So that is the plan. And then we're going to hope, when I do that, then I have to let it sit, because I have to make sure it dries good and solid dry once it's in the book, because the weight of the signatures will pull it out of whack if I try to do anything with it. So we'll do that, and but that'll be, the next video. And then in the third video, possibly, we'll see how it worked. I'll just determine, what I need to do. But this can sit overnight. I've got some work I can do for my job. I'm home here today. We had some phone calls to take care of and things we had to do, and by the time I looked up at the clock, it was like 11 o'clock, and I was like, well, you know what? There's nothing in the office that's that pressing. I've got my computer here at home. I can just go ahead and do some of my stuff from here. So some of the stuff I was planning on doing, I can easily do from here. So that is the plan. So I'm going to go ahead along the edge of this card. And this card's not very thick. But like I said, I wanted the Tyvek, and I wanted the card to help keep the fabric from doing this when you turn the signatures. Now you can see it won't do that. And yet it's still going to be very flexible. Okay? And that is what I'm looking for, I think. I think that's what I want. I hope that's what I want. So, all right, let's do this. Get some more glue in here. I want to make sure I'm getting everywhere. Do a a little bit more. Okay. Make sure we put enough glue on there. When I smushed this down, this went down in one spot a little bit more. So I've got this little peak here, so I've got to kind of go up and under the fabric to make sure I get all the fabric glued all over. Okay, go across here and then up the rest of the way. I'm just putting this up until I feel a resistance. It tells me I'm hitting where the fabric is already glued down to the card. So we will do that. Okay, I think I need more over here. Again, I'm gluing so much because I want it really like one cohesive piece. I really want it to be, I just want to go up a little bit before I go down a little bit. Make sure I've got glue everywhere so that it doesn't shift. But it should be just want to keep going back over as I'm playing with this, making sure that I've got it down and it stays down. Sometimes it wants to lift away, you know. Okay, knock my glue over. All right, so my last piece, I've got some glue here, but that's okay. I think we can go ahead and finish this. First, I'm going to do the sides and across the middle, and then I'll go down and do along the bottom of the card here. Okay. Yeah. And up here, I may be off camera a little bit. Let me come back. I mean, I probably wasn't completely off camera, but it's probably pretty annoying to look at me working. Here, let me move over a little bit more. Look at me working in the bottom left corner of the screen, which is probably what I've been doing. So I do apologize. But what you see me doing here is what I was doing before. So it's not a whole big bunch. Just trying to glue it all down. Oh, my hands are starting to hurt. Okay. All right, now I want to go right along here. I don't want to pull up on the fabric too much. I can see the Tyvek there, so. Okay, a little bit more there, I think. A little bit more in the middle there, and I think we're probably okay. So let's get the rest of this down. Okay, I'm going to go up a little bit to make sure I didn't miss any spots, and then pull it down. Okay, and up a little bit here, and then down. I'm really quite pleased that this glue is not showing through the fabric. I'm pleased it probably still not gonna see. I mean, I could put the lace under, you know, this one's bugging me, but I'll get that later. I don't have to put the lace on top. I can actually put the lace coming out from the bottom so we don't lose this, because then what was the point of doing it all, right? Okay. All right, so this is good, I think. All right. I'm trying not to, I'm picking up glue on my thing here. I'm trying not to ripple anything. All right, so we have that. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get my little foam pad, which I put someplace. Oh, it's up here. Okay. Let me move the glue over because I won't need that. And I can, this is one of the ribbons I was using last night. I'm telling you, this place looks horrible. Horrible, horrible. Okay, I'm going to just put this down here. Actually, let me do it this way. Just make sure it's laying flat. This is my foam. This is actually a board, a foam board that I use for parchment craft, which is you use a vellum, a heavy vellum, and you use those balled tools. I really don't know what they call them. And I'm going to turn it this way so I can see this a little bit better, because I want to make sure I get it between the card here in the right place. Try to get it as even as possible, top to bottom. Because this is longer than this card, I have to make sure that I have it where I think I want it. Now I know you can't see it, but I can see, well, maybe you can. I can see the card through here, okay? So I'm just gonna try to get it centered equal distance here and here. And then I'm just gonna try to slide it over to the edge of the card. The edge of the card. Well, that didn't work. All right, try again. The edge of the card there. The edge of the card here. Okay. I think what I'm going to try to do is, I was going to think about clamping, but I'm just going to be really, I'll just have to be really careful. So here's my holes. I'm going to go ahead and put my holes through. I'm actually going to go in and kind of wiggle them a little bit. So yeah, I haven't done a lot of the parchment craft in a very long time. I only had just started playing with it when I got into the junk journal, so I really hadn't done but just some small pieces, mostly like practice pieces. I'm trying to be careful not to go too into the foam because I don't want to put holes in that new mat that I just purchased, which I probably already have done. But I'm picking up the glue on this, if you can see that. So I'm going through here. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to actually, I don't think I'm going to need that, so I'm going to put it down by my bookbinding stuff. I'm going to pick this up and I'm just going to go through. I'm going to make the holes a little bigger so that because it's fabric, it's going to want to, like our mats, self-heal. The threads are going to want to come back and cover over the hole. So if I make the holes bigger, it will do two things for me. It will allow me to see the hole better. So I can know where to put the needle. And the other thing is it will allow my needle to pass through a lot easier because the hole's a little bigger. So we can do that. So what's going to happen then with this is I will sew the signatures directly to this, okay? Directly to this piece. And then we'll take the whole piece, this with the signatures sewn in, we'll take the whole piece. I think I'm losing these a little bit. We'll take the whole piece and they are wanting to cover over here. we'll take the whole piece and then place it into the spine. But we don't glue. I did that wrong, didn't I? I'm going to have to cover it again on the back. I put this on the wrong side. Yeah, I put that on the wrong side. I'm going to have to put another piece here. We don't glue this part down. We only glue this part down. So this will actually float, and it should, as we turn the pages, do this. And that is what should allow it to lay flat. So there was one mistake I did. I, for whatever reason, put the fabric on top of the fabric. So now I'm going to have to get fabric and put it on the back here and put the holes in again. But I'm not going to put you through the torment. Next time you see this, it'll be done properly and correctly. So that is what we have done so far. For the sake of the camera, I will do that. So until the next time, guys, be safe, be happy, and be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.